And the theory of attachment styles directly relates to I-part theory. It's just another way of thinking it. And I like both of them because one is about kind of the underlying dynamics and the other one is about the personality types that you develop as a result. And again, these personality types may describe behaviors you've done up to this point, but they do not explain away bad behavior that you're not benefiting from, and they also are not inevitable. You can change your attachment style. All right, so again, we got the two axes, the four models. On the one axis is your anxiety of abandonment. So how nervous you are that people are going to leave or disappoint you. So this is your kind of like your independence thing, right? So how comfortable are you being differentiated, being dependent, leaving your significant other for a while, having them leave you, knowing everything's going to be okay? How comfortable you are with being broken up with? If somebody says like, hey, our relationship's just not working out, are you like, yeah, that's disappointing and life just sucks? Or do you go nuclear and make it mean like how you're a terrible person? Okay, so that's your anxiety of abandonment or your ability, your kind of like independence, right, realm. Then on the other axis is your proximity seeking. So this is how much you desire close relationships. So this is related to your warmth dimension. How much do you want to be around other people? How much warmth do you feel? How much interpersonal feelings of positive like comfort do you feel when you're around other people? Okay, that's high proximity seeking. All right, so if you're high proximity seeking, you have a strong sense of warmth, you like to be around other people, and you have low anxiety of abandonment, right? You think people are safe, they're going to be there for you. If something goes bad in a relationship, it's not you, it's just shit happens, then you are known as a secure attachment style. So the figure I use for this, I don't really watch Charlie Brown at all, but I found this little square online and I always really liked it. So Peppermint Patty from Charlie Brown is kind of displayed as a secure attachment style because, you know, they're open with their feelings. They're not afraid to be around people. They're also fine speaking their mind, and controversy doesn't bother them because they know that if someone doesn't like their ideas or disagrees with them, it isn't something about their self-worth. It's just how life works. So then on the opposite side, if you have low proximity seeking, so you don't want to be in a relationship, and you have high anxiety of abandonment because you're constantly convinced that people are going to abandon you and leave you and not take care of your feelings, you have a fearful attachment style, and that's Charlie Brown, right? Which makes sense. He's kind of like constantly afraid of being in relationships. He kind of keeps himself at a distance from people, and he also worries a lot about whether people are like bad, right? So secure, fearful. Those are your two opposites. Then I would say most people are not these two. If you're high proximity seeking, so you want a relationship, you want to be with other people, you enjoy it, you like those things make you feel good, but you also have high anxiety of abandonment, you're known as a preoccupied attachment style. Because you want a relationship, but you spend the whole time in the relationship thinking about how this isn't going to work and they don't really love you and oh my God, it's going to fall apart. So that is Lucy Van Pelt. She's the character from Charlie Brown that I think is in love with Charlie Brown. But like I said, I don't really watch the show, so I just like this graphic. Okay. Then on the other side of preoccupied, we have the opposite, which is someone who's actually very low anxiety of abandonment. You know, thinks generally speaking that people are not going to, high sense of differentiation, high sense of like independence, like not needing to be around other people, having a lot of their own things going on, and low proximity seeking, meaning they're not looking for a relationship. And I like this image because the person they choose for this is Schroeder. And Schroeder is the character in Charlie Brown who always plays the piano. And so in the little example, he's the only one doing something. So Schroeder's down there in the little square playing the piano. Because to me, that's a really great dismissive attachment style, is somebody who isn't afraid of other people. They just choose not to be in relationships because they have other stuff going on. So let's talk a little bit about this dismissive attachment style because I think it's kind of misunderstood. So, like, there's always this question, is the dismissive attachment style sort of a secure dismissive that knows that they could have a successful relationship but like just doesn't want it, kind of what we call true independence? Or is it more of a fearful dismissive that pushes people away so they can't get close or can't hurt them, which is what we call more like defensive independence? And if you look at where the square is for Schroeder's character, he's next to Peppermint Patty and he's next to Charlie Brown. So the question is, does Schroeder's dismissiveness fall more toward fearful because he's doing it as a defense mechanism, or more toward secure, which is, yeah, he's Schroeder's fine, like he's not worried about having a relationship. It's just he doesn't want to do it right now because frankly, like it's a lot of work. The original theory of this sort of always assumes that there's something wrong with dismissive people, because why would you not seek out close relationships? Like, why would you not try to foster relationships? And for me, the theory doesn't really allow that you could potentially be a secure dismissive. And that sucks, because there's like nothing wrong with just deciding that, yeah, I could have a relationship. I'm fine with that, but meh, it's just like not what I want right now. You're not afraid of it. You just don't want to be bothered because like people are a lot of work and you maybe have other stuff going on. So to me, a dismissive attachment style could be dismissive in like the fearful dismissive, or we could just call it an occupied attachment style, because unlike preoccupied attachment style where you pursue a relationship but you're never present the whole time because you're always anxious about it, you're on the opposite side, which is you're not anxious about having a relationship, you're just choosing not to pursue it. This is like the person, like you've been on like 5 dates or whatever, and you're sitting on the couch and you're watching Netflix and everything seems to be going pretty well, and you're just like hanging out and enjoying, and you like lay down on the couch together and they got their head on your arm or whatever, and you ask, are you comfortable? Right? In kind of a general, like, is your head comfortable on my arm? Because we're just like getting to know each other and I'm still making sure that like I know your preferences. And you're like, well, I'd just be a lot more comfortable if I knew where this was going. And it's like, oh, well, so you've been sitting here this whole time on the couch with me. Well, I'm thinking everything's fine, and all you've been doing in your head is thinking about how you want me to define the relationship. So you haven't really been here with me. You've been over there thinking about how you want me to do something that I'm not doing. And this is the irony of the preoccupied attachment style, because you think other people need to confirm to you that you're safe, but you're the person who needs to decide if the relationship is safe for you. And of course, you think that by them not being more willing to commit to you, they're not present in the relationship. But you sitting around just expecting everyone to commit to you, it's also you not being present in the relationship. Because I don't ever know if you're really with me as a relational partner, or if you just want someone to guarantee that they're going to be around forever. And I frankly don't have that guarantee to make. So the preoccupied attachment style is one that probably got a lot of warmth as a child, a lot of affection, very comfortable with that, kind of free of physical behaviors. But it could also not be. It could also be somebody who seeks out relationships as kind of a compensation for the fact that as a child they didn't get a lot of warmth, or maybe they had some physically hurtful behaviors. But as they're seeking out those relationships, they're spending the whole time trying to get the other person to make them feel better, because they have very, very low sense of independence, right? They don't have a strong sense of differentiation. They only know who they are in the context of being someone else's partner, or being someone else's friend, or giving advice, or solving problems. They don't have a lot of self hanging around when those things aren't happening. So that